Yeah, this is breaking news just in here on NewsNation on the case of Luigi Mangione, accused in the murder of the United Healthcare CEO. The DA here in Manhattan has just unveiled a first-degree murder charge against Mangione. One count of murder in the first degree in furtherance of terrorism from Bragg's office. Again, just in. Also, 2 counts of murder in the second degree. We already knew second-degree murder, which would be part of this, one of which is charged as killing it as an act of terrorism. Then, on top of that, 2 counts, criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, 4 counts, criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, 1 count, criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree, 1 count, criminal possession of a forged instrument in the second degree. The new charges just unveiled by Alvin Bragg's office here in New York against Luigi Mangione. Let's get to trial attorney Misty Maris, who's with me here in the studio in New York. We're just looking during the break at the charges as it breaks. First-degree murder. Reaction?
Right, absolutely. So we knew that there was a probable cause affidavit out there, the arrest warrant for second-degree murder, but now we see that the district attorney, before a grand jury, has upgraded the charges to first-degree murder. We talked about this before. In New York, there's a very specific statutory enumerated list of certain crimes that can qualify as first-degree murder. One of them is in furtherance of an act of terrorism. And that can mean targeting the insurance industry, a government-regulated industry. So that's likely the angle that Alvin Bragg put before the grand jury.
Is that the legal definition in New York of terrorism, which you think of violence and furtherance of some sort of a political goal or aim or goal, right? That's what you think of terrorism as, just colloquially. But that's the legal definition here in New York of terrorism?
The legal definition can be targeting a civilian population. It can also be trying to coerce or intimidate to change a government policy or to intimidate a government regulation. So this is how I think the insurance industry and the manifesto, which specifically talks about targeting the CEO. Remember one of those lines in the manifesto. How about we go after him at his bean counter conference, right?
Yes.
So specifically relating to the insurance industry, that's likely how we see this charge upgraded to that first-degree murder.
And the difference here is, in terms of sentencing, is one thing, right?
Correct. So the minimum is much higher for a first-degree murder charge, and you also have other aggravating factors that could be enhancements on sentencing, meaning having a lower minimum sentence when you're talking about not only first-degree murder, but first-degree murder relating to that furtherance of act of terrorism.
Does it surprise you at all, or you see as any kind of a legal stretch for Bragg, or this is right on what you think is within the bounds, so to speak?
Second-degree murder, this fits what we saw on that horrible video and what we know about the allegations of a premeditated crime does fall well within the 4 corners of second-degree murder in New York. We talked about it. In other states, it would be more like a first-degree murder when you're talking about premeditation. Here, it really depends on what else they have and what we don't necessarily know about that puts it into that next-level category, specifically with that angle relating to terrorism. So to the extent that there's more information out there that puts this into that box, it's probably not a stretch, but it's certainly going to be a higher burden to show from the prosecution perspective.
It is an interesting kind of development. Some of this has been predictable the last few days in what we've been watching, but this came, as a little bit of a surprise in terms of we were ready for second degree, and then Bragg goes up to first degree. So we'll see where we go from here. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.